Hey everyone, it's Jen from You So Much, and I'm going to talk today about delivering on your headlines. So what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is in the copy of your sales page that you actually are delivering on the fantasy that you're teasing them with in the headline. So I did a video recently about how to get the attention of your customer in your headline by using their language and enticing them with their fantasy to get them to keep reading down the page. But one of the things that is super important that you realize is that you actually have to fulfill on that fantasy. The body of your page needs to actually talk more about their fantasy, and it actually has to be relevant. When I'm talking about fantasy, I'm not talking about make things up. I'm not talking about making some kind of a false promise that you're not going to deliver on with your product or service. Your offering actually has to fulfill their fantasy, and you have to figure out how it's doing that. But it's not about making false statements, and that includes on your copy as well. When you entice them with an awesome headline, you should make sure that that awesome headline is going to deliver throughout the entire sales page. So it's not just in the headline. The body of the copy needs to get them to keep reading. In fact, one of the rules of copywriting is to make sure that each line makes them want to read the next line, that makes them want to read the next line, right? So it's not just about the headline. It's about everything in between until you get to the end and they press the buy button. And one of the great ways you can do that is through subheadlines. And I have a few videos on that and how to increase flow of the page by making sure the subheadlines are relevant as well. And one of the things I always highly suggest is if someone were to read through the page, the subheadlines themselves kind of tell the story. They can actually skim the page and kind of get their attention. And if they're good enough, what they're going to go back and do is read all the copy in between the subheadlines and not just read the subheadlines. So make sure the copy and the body of your sales page is relevant to the headline, and make sure that your fantasy that you're talking about isn't a false promise. You're actually delivering a fantasy. You're actually showing them how you're going to improve their lives, not just some kind of false fantasy promise. It's about making their lives better and how you're doing that with your offering. If you have any questions or comments about this, I'd love to hear from you. Leave it below, or you can contact me through my website at usesomuch.com. And don't forget to write down your own fantasies, because words make it real.